What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Pick Six channel. And today we'll be recapping the Steelers versus the Bengals game. The Steelers won by a score of 16-10, but the score doesn't really inflict on how the game really went. Okay, and that's not always the case, but for this one, kind of was, man. Steelers finally getting 400 plus yards. The very first game after firing Matt Canada. Is that not saying something? Hey, I'll let other people say so. Okay? That was the first time they've gotten 400 plus yards since week 2 of 2020. Week 2 of 2020. When the Steelers had Big Ben Roethlisberger, the year that they went 11-0 and just completely fell apart. First time since 2020. That was the longest active streak in the NFL without getting 400 plus yards. That is crazy. And they still somewhat had a winning record in that span, which is crazy. You know, just to show how good the defense had to be and is. Okay? But man, look, Steelers, look, it wasn't the sexiest win, okay? But it wasn't an ugly win. It wasn't an ugly win, okay? Steelers looked really good. And I get it was against a backup quarterback and whatever, but defense did their thing too, okay? I think the only time they gave up a touchdown, or the drive that they gave up a touchdown, was when Cincinnati had a bit of a short field. Was it after the fumble? No, I don't think. No, it wasn't after the fumble. That was before they scored. Okay, so speaking of that, Steelers should have had, or could have had, 23 points, but Deontay Johnson, or I should say, it wasn't called a touchdown. Deontay Johnson did have 3 feet in. He did make 3 steps and then lost it going to the ground, which, look, I would have challenged that if I was Coach Tomlin, if I was Mike Tomlin, but for some reason, for one reason or another, Tomlin didn't. But luckily, didn't have an impact on the game. Steelers still came out with the victory. But the play after was a Warren fumble. He was trying to gain extra yards, wound up fumbling, and Deontay Johnson showed absolutely no hustle whatsoever, like no care. He didn't even move that play. He didn't even move. And the fumble was around his area. Could he have gotten the fumble? Maybe not, but he could have stopped that long return. You know what I mean? Because they did get a good chunk of yardage on that return. He could have prevented that. And from what I understand, him and Minka had a bit of a heated argument or conversation, whatever you want to say, after the game. I think it was after the game. But, I mean, hustle, man. That's what we need. As far as the rest of the offense, Pat Freiermuth had over 100 yards receiving. Pat Freiermuth can be a top receiver in this league. I know he was injured the first half of the season, really. But, man, is his presence felt. Really. It's only, his second game back? And his presence has been felt. Okay. Najee Harris had a great game. Again, the 1-2 punch with him and Warren. You got to keep those two guys as long as you possibly can. Okay? You're probably not going to be able to keep them forever. We're being quite honest here. But for as long as you can, you want to keep that 1-2 punch. Okay? As far as Kenny Pickett, he looked really good. That might have been his best game of the year. You know, I know he didn't have any touchdowns, but the key was he didn't throw any interceptions either. He didn't throw a touchdown, but he didn't throw any interceptions. Okay? No turnovers. And I think, I don't remember the last time he's thrown a pick. I completely forgot. You know, but it's been a hot minute. I think he's had over 200 completions or something like that without throwing a pick. So that's a good stat. I know the Steelers offense hasn't been looking all that great this season, but still, that's a good stat to have, you know. But he was throwing absolute dimes. He may have only missed a receiver once or twice, really, maybe 3 times. I don't know. But he looked really good, really solid. The only thing about this offense is they need a finish. Okay, they need to put points on the board. That wasn't shown this game. But if they could get points on the board, man, I'm telling you, this team could really do some damage. This team could really be something. And that's what I've been saying all year. And that was the first time I seen some true progression from this offense. And that was just so happened to be right after Matt Canada was fired. So is that coincidental? I don't know. I'll leave it for you guys. But other than that, man, that was true Pittsburgh Steelers football. That's one of the few times I've been able to say that within the past couple years, if I'm being honest with you. That was true Pittsburgh Steelers football, and I hope to see more of that. And this offense, look, man, it's a young offense. It's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. Can you pick its progression? Hopefully continues. And yeah, man, we'll see. I truly feel like if they play the way they did on Sunday, that they'll be able to maybe not beat the top teams, but definitely compete against them and have a good game against those top teams. So we'll see, man. Other than that, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next one. You already know. Here we go, Steelers.